All right, we ready to roll?
Yeah, dude.
Let's do it.
Hey, friends, it's time for another new episode of the Two Clouded Mind Show with your favorite hosts, Kris
I have a very caveman brain.
and Dave.
He's falling apart in front of our eyes.
Subscribe to the Two Clouded Mind Show on YouTube and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Two clouded minds, baby. I love you guys.
Oh my God, you're meant to do that.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back.
Hello and
It's
welcome.
Wednesday.
Woo.
It's me and Dave. You're stuck with us. That's right. KCDC back to back. We're
KCDC.
here.
Let's do it. Rock and roll. Ding.
Oh yeah. What's up, dude? How are you?
Ding. Great, man. I'm having a day. You know what I mean? I woke up this morning. So I mean, that was a bummer, but here we are. You know what I mean? Make the most of it, right? Make the most of it. Like, fuck, this again? Okay. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
May as well.
I know the feeling.
Like what?
What did that happen?
Like, shit, dude. I got to make lemonade out of this fucking stupid day. Gosh. But yeah,
Oh man, that's great.
here we are.
Yeah, I woke up this morning. So I had a weird weekend. Like typically I don't work on Thursdays, but we were short a guy, so I filled in. So Thursday felt like Friday. Friday felt like Saturday.
Today
So my
is
day's all
now.
screwed up.
What's today? Sunday.
Sunday.
It's technically
weird.
it's currently Sunday. It's Wednesday for all you viewers, but it's Sunday for me and Chris, and the two of us are
All right.
struggling to like keep up with our actual daily lives here. Like, what day is it? What's going on right now? Do I have any responsibilities?
Yeah. My alarm went off this morning. I woke up and at first I looked at the clock without my glasses on and I thought it said 1:30 and I panicked. I was like, no. So I grabbed my phone, saw you didn't text me. So I was like, all right, cool. Put my glasses on. Thought it was early.
Nice.
Yeah. Eye problems.
I
Sweet.
I had to do some errands. I actually ran errands before this, so like I needed to make sure I was up early in the morning too. Yeah, I had to do so. As you know, you haven't gotten yours yet, but as you know, the first run of Spirit for Spirits merchandise came in. The shirts, the the hoodies, the stickers actually came in too. So I had to. And the other news, I guess the piece of news. This is time travel. So today is Sunday. This episode will come out. Will come out in 4 days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, I guess 3 days.
Yeah.
So as of right now, when people are watching this, I filmed this past Monday at Asbury Park Distillery. So Asbury Park Distillery is going to be one of the episodes for season 2 of Spirit for Spirits, which is pretty cool. We got our local,
Dude, that's amazing.
yeah, we got our local distillery. So tomorrow for you and me, but this past Monday for the viewers, we're doing our filming at Asbury Park Distillery. We're going to do a full distillery tour. We're going to do a full tasting. We're going to do, a classic cocktail build. It should be a blast. So I'm very much looking forward to it. So Spirit for Spirits season 2 is officially underway as of today.
Fuck yeah, dude. Congratulations. You guys are putting out a hell of a product. That's not just me blowing smoke. Like, it's a really cool show. I like it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, obviously it's a little nerve-wracking in the sense that it's like, okay, we got another crack at this, and this one, this time it counts. You know what I mean? Like, this time it really matters. Like, the first season, great, good, whatever, it's out there, but the second season, this is where we're really going to make our inroads. If we have success from this project, it'll be off the back of season 2. So there's a lot of pressure. It's a little nerve-wracking, but at the same time, it's very exciting. I feel fortunate that we're able to do another season of this.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude. And like I said, like, you guys are putting out a killer product. You're super talented. Albie's just like unnatural on camera.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, he's good.
So
He's
just-
good. So yeah, between the two of us, I think we have, we check a lot of the boxes for, being able to put together a really unique, special product. So we're excited about it. And then the sweatshirts came out dope as hell. The t-shirts came out dope as hell. The stickers came out dope as hell. Like every little piece is just a little bit cooler than the last piece. You know what I mean? So it's very exciting.
Yeah,
I don't know when the next time I'll see you.
excited.
Yeah, I'll give you your gear the next time we meet. A couple stickers, and you'll be fully outfitted. You can be a walking billboard, which is just what we want.
Hell yeah, dude. Love it.
Yeah.
I love merch. I'm a
and then
sucker for merch.
if you're out there, if you're watching right now and you want to learn more about it, if you're interested, we also the podcast just got released. So Albie and I were on the Bourbon and Bullshit podcast with Arthur.
Hell yeah.
Arthur Gatton is his name. Is the host of the show. Really great guy. So obviously during our release, like a lot, I deal with our social media. I do all of our online stuff. Our whole online presence is my responsibility. So one of the things that I did was I reached out I Googled to see if there were any like booze related podcasts, who's out there doing podcasts that we might be able to become guests on. So I found this guy, Bourbon and Bullshit. I found a couple of other podcasts, and I sent like a little letter to them. I sent a letter, hey, this is me, this is what we do, please check us out, and if you're interested, we would love to come on your show. He is the first person who responded, and he was very, very kind. I love your stuff. You guys are doing a cool thing. Want to come on? So, right now, I think the podcast just got posted yesterday or 2 days ago or something. So if you're interested, right now, check out the Bourbon and Bullshit podcast. The most recent episode is featuring Albert and I from Spirit for Spirits. So that was a lot of fun. So shout out to Bourbon and Bullshit. Shout out Arthur. If you're interested, feel free to go check that out. As a matter of fact, I'll put a link in the show notes. So if you're watching this right now, there's a link in the show notes directly to the Bourbon and Bullshit podcast.
Hell yeah, dude. And I know it's as much as I'd like to be as helpful as I can. So I'll definitely put a couple stories on our main page to send people there for sure.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah, it's exciting. It's
awesome.
We're out here doing our thing.
Yeah. And you're doing what you love. So like it's even cooler.
Yeah, it's nice. So I mean, obviously, I'm hoping for the best to come out of this, but at the same time, like, I have to continue to remind myself to enjoy every minute of this that we're doing right now, because I might not get this again. You know what I mean? Like season two might be the last season. Depending on how things go and whatever, because like it's expensive to do what we're doing. We're obviously just financing everything ourselves. We're doing everything ourselves, so it's all on our own dime. So like I talked to you guys about the Mexico distillery, so we're trying to work that out, but the other side of that coin obviously is how expensive it's going to be for us to get there and get back. You know what I mean? Like it's a big expense, so it's a question of like us looking in the mirror and being like, is this worth it? Is this something that I really believe in? Is this something I'm ready to drop this money on? For me, the answer was yes. So hopefully we get a chance to follow through on that. So we'll see how that all plays out, but yeah, I mean, it really is. We're sort of at like a little bit of a crossroads situation where it's like, how, do I dive into this head first? Do I dip my toe in? Like, how much am I willing to essentially sacrifice for this? So,
yeah.
And that question keeps, coming up, or it's starting to come up more and more,
Yeah, naturally. Yeah, I couldn't imagine the just the thought processes and the feelings. Like you're about to make big moves. And that's really cool, man. It's really, really cool.
Yeah,
it's definitely also very motivating, at least for me, to see like all the shit that you do and all the hats you wear, and it's impressive. It really is.
Thanks.
And I appreciate it. Yeah, man.
Yeah, like you said, it's me getting a chance to do the things that I love. So I'm just gonna, whenever I get these opportunities, I I try to grab on with both hands and sink my teeth.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, hang on 1 second. One
Uh-oh.
second.
All right. Commercial break time. Hi, my name is Dave from Spirit for Spirits, the greatest bartending battle show ever. Check us out on YouTube at Spirit for Spirits, or on Instagram at Spirit for Spirits, or on Twitter at Spirit4 Spirits. What's on my hand here?
Relax.
Did I have a...
Dog had something weird in her mouth. I had to retrieve it.
I have something weird. I think I have like a bruise on my finger that I didn't even know that I had. I saw it in the camera. What's that?
Oh no!
What is that?
Yeah,
What is that?
it's right on the end.
Right in the fold. Right in the fold.
Oh, so it's gonna take forever to heal.
Oh nope,
and
it's a smudge.
Constantly
Nope,
gonna
it's
hurt.
just a smudge.
Cool.
Just a smudge. This one, I don't know if you can see this. There's a little red spot here. This, my finger, like this part of my hand, the whole like meaty web part got pinched inside my tripod leg as I was unfolding it. It got like completely crushed and it hurt a lot. So like this is now probably a week old where it's just finally back down to this, but I had like a big purple blob right there, like a blood blister underneath the skin because the stupid leg of the tripod just crunched it and I was just like yeah, it was rough. But I had to be cool about it because I'm on set. You know what I mean? Like I'm in front of other people, so I'm just like, oh, yep, no, I'm good.
I'm gonna cry about this later. I had just the other day an old buddy of mine that I was in the union with, real good dude. He moved away. He's back in town for like 2 weeks. So I met up with him at Ross Dock, right there on the Hudson.
If you say
It's
so.
like a really beautiful. It's like a recreation area. They have like the barbecue grill set up.
Is this in
area
in like Brooklyn or something?
It's in Jersey. It's on the Jersey side of the Hudson, but you're right by the George Washington Bridge.
Okay.
You can see the whole city and all the boroughs like on the other side. It's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Nice.
Be a really cool place to take mushrooms, I think. But
okay. Fair enough.
But I took Ash. So Ash and I are just hanging out.
That's your dog. For anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. My little wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to leave her home all day, so her and I went out there. I come home and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like itchy. I'm like, I didn't go in the woods, so like, and I had full like I wasn't like shirtless or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the hell is that? Wake up the next day.
Oh God.
It's double in size, and I have a tiny little black dot in the middle of it. I think I got bit by a spider.
Are you sure you don't have a tick?
And
is that little black
definitely not a
spot?
tick,
That little black spot's not a bug, right?
No, it's not a bug. It's like it's almost like a scab.
Okay.
Like I flicked it off. And I tried to squeeze it.
You're positive it's not a tick.
I'm not 100%. That's why when we're done, I am gonna take my ass to urgent care.
Oh my
just
God.
so they look.
Is
at
it? Where is it on your back?
It's right on my.
Let me see.
Handle.
Show it to me. It's good for the podcast. Oh, okay. We got a red spot. Yeah, it looks like a bruise. There is a dot. I can clearly see the little dot there. Yeah, that's definitely some kind of a bite of some sort. Yeah,
and like I said, not
get that
gross,
out.
guys. I'm so sorry.
I've seen grosser. We've done grosser stuff on this show.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But I tried to because it felt like it's so big underneath the surface. It feels like there's like fluid in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to squeeze it, like when I was in the shower.
Gross.
The pain that I felt from that little, like pinhole black little scab, it felt like somebody was stabbing me with a hot poker. So I backed off real quick, but there's still under the surface. It's pretty big, dude.
You might have a stinger.
Go get it.
The stinger might be in you or something like that. Still. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I gotta get it looked at.
I hope that you're right, and I hope it's not actually still a bug sitting in there. Although I'll say this, the little mark that you showed, it doesn't look like the target, like the bullseye they say for ticks. That's
Yes.
not what that looks
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
So you know, at least I mean, if you're gonna say that there's a bright side, I guess the bright side
Yeah,
is that it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
it certainly doesn't look like Lyme's disease. So that's a good thing. I know a friend of mine a while back got Lyme's disease, and
Oh, that's tough.
yeah, big bummer. It's not good.
Makes
It's
you
not
like
what you want.
super lethargic and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's not what you want.
Yeah, no, that sucks, man. That sucks, man. And that's like one of those things that'll stick with you forever, right?
I think so. I don't know if, like, I'll say this, when we were younger, that definitely, yeah, like you know, Lyme's disease, you were never getting rid of that. But I don't know if since then maybe they've come up with some sort of treatment for it. That part I don't know. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google it and see.
Lyme disease is the herpes of being in the woods.
Oh man. Okay, let's see. Lyme
Oh.
disease. Wait, hold on. Is Lyme disease, what do we say? Permanent? Or
Yeah.
something? Terminal? Not terminal.
Yeah.
Terminal means you're gonna die. So it's not.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, fuck.
Is Lyme disease curable? Okay, let's see. Is Lyme disease curable? Okay, so of course, according to, again, you know, as we do on this show, I'm going to give the disclaimer here that this is the AI answer, which very often is not correct. But AI says, yes, Lyme disease is generally curable with an appropriate antibiotic treatment, especially when diagnosed and treated early. Most people will recover completely after a 2 to 4 week course of oral antibiotics, but some may have longer symptoms. Now let me look. Mayo Clinic. This is a little more trustworthy in my opinion.
That sounds professional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Mayo. I've heard of the Mayo Clinic. That's for sure. Okay, so let's see. Treatment. Most cases will be quicker and more complete the sooner treatment begins. A rash might be enough for diagnosis. A review. Oh, this might not give me the answer I'm looking for here. Preventive use of antibiotics. Illness after Lyme disease. Some people use the term to refer to long-term symptoms they think may be linked to an earlier case, but the term isn't well defined. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it looks like maybe it is. It's certainly treatable, and
Okay.
I'm seeing that it's probably curable, but you definitely, I think that the key here, the big takeaway that I'm seeing is that you want to get to the doctor ASAP.
Yeah, I definitely want to get, whether it's that or not, like I don't have any other symptoms other than like I said, like it feels like there's almost like a golf ball under the surface and like the skin is hot.
Oh my God,
Like,
what if like a
that-
bug laid eggs inside of you or something like that? Like you got a
dude,
whole
stop.
that it's like a sack of little baby bugs. That's probably what it is. That's probably what it is.
That thought has crossed my mind several times this week.
Yeah. So wait, when did you get bit? Yesterday? Just yesterday? Because those Tuesday. It's Sunday,
Yeah.
dude. It's Sunday.
I know.
Those bugs are probably at a full term. They're going to start pouring out of the little hole soon enough.
Oh, dude, stop.
You got to get to the doctor, pal.
Those bugs are at full term.
Yeah, man. That thing is just going to get bigger and harder and more full until the bugs start squeezing out that little hole there. Like a whole colony of them. Yeah.
Oh,
you got to get to the doctor, bro. You got to get to the doctors. Now, see that rash, that red didn't look that bad to me, but now that I know it's from almost a week ago, it's a lot worse now. Yeah. Like if you got bit yesterday and it had like that redness and stuff, like okay, yesterday. No, it was almost a week ago and you're still looking like that.
Almost a week.
You got to get to the doctor, buddy. You got to go to the Medicare or whatever it's called, the urgent clinic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the urgent care when we wrap up here. Hop in the shower and then head over there.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh man, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Maybe like,
that's what they say. That's what they say. But they said that, but they also don't have bugs living inside their skin. You know.
You know what? I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Who are they?
The president and his wife.
Say.
The president and his wife.
Fair. They're the big they.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's that, or it's the Queen of England, right? Well, no, the King of England right now, because the Queen's dead. King of England.
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Isn't it King Charles?
Sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure. Oh,
It's gotta
so
be weird.
let me ask you this: are you gonna apply for the open pope position? Are you interested?
I thought about it.
I sent my resume in.
I thought about it. Ah, nice.
I saw
nice. I don't think
saw the listing on Indeed, so I said, "Hey, what's the worst that could happen?" So I just
I'm
sent
just gonna join the conclave real quick.
apply now. Apply now. Send the resume that's on file.
dark.
Yep, send that resume, please. Thank you.
Yeah. That's funny. Speaking of Indeed, I actually I've been on there a little bit more frequently these days. I mean, I have a job, obviously, but just always looking for something different, maybe extra.
Sure.
I get a response from, I don't want to put the company's name on blast,
Don't.
but they're just a random company. Hey, we reviewed your resume. We like what we see. We'd love to meet you in person, yada yada yada. And they're probably like 20 minutes away from here. But it almost seemed like, in a sense, it was the same thing that you had gotten into recently. But
An unmarked van? That's what I got into
pretty
recently.
much. Yeah.
Got into an
Hella
unmarked
rapey.
van. So what you're saying is that it looks like a sports card company, trading card company?
That's the only thing that differs from what you're doing. This seems more like everything.
Like
instead
Pokemon?
of just like a niche market.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, but it's not necessarily trading cards. It's other things. It's a lot of things.
It's other things. Yeah, it's a lot of things.
So it's just like
Weird.
random sales position, basically.
I
Interesting.
think so, yeah. But like an online presence kind of
Okay.
deal, like on a social media site.
Gotcha.
I'm like, all right. Is it worth maybe going to entertain to meet them? Of course. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
Whatever.
yeah, you don't know. But I mean, whether it's gonna jive with your current schedule, whether it's something that you're interested in doing, because like when I got into this position that I have now, I wasn't looking for a sales job. I was looking for, I was looking for a lot of different things. I was just kind of open to whatever. I didn't really have a specific, like, I want to do this, that, or the other. So I just applied to a bunch of places that I was like, I could probably handle this. I could probably deal with that. Like, I'm not gonna want to kill myself every day, so any more than usual. But so I took I went on the interview and stuff like that, and then there's definitely a sales component. Like, essentially, that's my job. Like, essentially, I'm a sports card salesperson when it comes to right down to it. But the method by which they do the sales, they got their Shopify, they got their this website, that website, and they're also on the social media websites. So, but I also think that that's pretty common nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of businesses that survive off the back of their social media sales. I think that's just a common thing these days. You know what I mean? Like, maybe not everybody might not be on TikTok Shop per se, but maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's Shopify, maybe it's one of those other sites. You know what I mean? Like, that's like internet commerce is very common, I think. At least in my, but again, I am very dumb, but everybody who's watching knows that.
But it makes sense. I mean, so many people, like almost everybody has one of these.
Yeah.
Almost everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And most of those almost everybody's has at least a social media platform. I think that's safe to say.
Okay. I would agree with that.
It's just impressive that like the whole TikTok Shop thing, how big that's gotten over the years. And it hasn't even, like, it's still, I wouldn't say it's in its infancy, but it's still not very old.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's early in the whole life cycle of it, I guess. Yeah, but I didn't know really. I mean, Anthony's been talking to us about TikTok Shop for a little while, just because he had his little idea, his sports idea. But
Mhm.
but I didn't have any experience with TikTok Shop. I really I have TikTok. I've had TikTok for a while, but I really don't go on it much at all. You know what I mean? Like I would go like last year when I was working at the liquor store and I was basically just sitting around for half my shift, just literally sitting on the chair, just not even moving. I would go on TikTok just to watch and look and stuff because you run out of tweets to read, you run out of Instagram posts to look at, so now it's time for TikTok and we're just scrolling through TikTok.
Yeah.
But
Gotta love the.
yeah, I never partook or even got involved in any of the TikTok shops. If I ever scrolled and saw somebody who was selling, I would just scroll on. So I never even took the time. Yeah, I never even took the time to figure out the workings of it. But now that I'm working there, I can see that it's actually pretty cool the way that they have it set up where you can just click this stuff right there. You go right into the shop right there. Bing bang boom. It's pretty interesting. So I'm learning a lot about that.
Nice.
But I still don't go on TikTok now. Now I only pretty much go on TikTok just to see that stuff. You know what I mean? But you know what's nice is that I was able to I set up a TikTok account just for that job so that I can go through that account. I can look at our feed. I can look at the other guys' feeds and stuff like that. And it's not my own personal TikTok. It's just a regular. It's an independent account. But I got the name
Nice.
Pack Rip Ewing.
Sick, dude.
I'm Pack Rip Ewing on TikTok.
Dude, that's cool as hell.
I saw it because there's a guy on Twitter named Pack Rip Ewing. I saw it a bunch of years ago. I just saw one of his tweets come across my timeline, and I was like, that's really funny, Pack Rip Ewing. So as I was setting up the new TikTok account, I'm like, what could I make my name that's associated with this company, with this business and stuff. So I was like, I wonder if Pack Rip Ewing is available, and it was. So I'm Pack Rip Ewing on TikTok. Check me out. Give me a follow.
Give him a follow, guys. Give him a follow.
Pack Rip Ewing.
Dude, that's so cool.
I mean, I can't take credit. I didn't come up with the name myself. I saw it on Twitter first, but being able, the fact that it was still available on TikTok, I was thrilled. Just thrilled.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, you would think that person would have snatched that up quick.
And I'll tell you, that's what I do. That's what I do whenever there's a new.
You got to grab your username.
DC in the City. That's why I say I'm DC in the City on all social media, because as soon as I hear of a social media site, I immediately go on there. I have accounts. We talked about this the very beginning of our relationship here. You were like, do you have an OnlyFans? And at that moment when you asked me, I did not have an OnlyFans, but that very day I went home and took and reserved. So now if you go on OnlyFans DC in the City, that's me. There's nothing on there. I don't post on there, but DC in the City is me. So if you go on pretty much any social media site anywhere, you're going to find the odds are very good that that DC in the City will be me. Yeah.
You know what's funny, dude? I myself have an OnlyFans with 0 content.
Nice. Now, let me ask you this. You don't have to tell us what your username is, but does it have a bunch of underscores in it?
No.
Nice.
No. It's actually, yeah. No underscores.
Good for you.
If any. Honestly, I think it's just my name.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because as long as if it's your name and it's not some random thing, nobody can accuse you of trying to hide your activities. You know what I mean? Kris is on OnlyFans, but it's a burner account, so he's out here liking and subscribing and messaging porno people and stuff. But no, if it's your name, you don't have anything you're not hiding anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I was gonna do something like Clouded or whatever, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use my name.
Fair.
And go from there.
Yeah, I mean, we could theoretically, just like we have the Patreon, we could sign up for the OnlyFans, but we have a hard enough at this point with the way that our schedules are and the fact that we don't have the studio anymore. It's hard enough getting a regular episode out each week. So putting out Patreon content has been tough lately. So
yeah, you're right. Hey, listen, it's not that we're not trying.
No,
It's
but
just, you know.
I think everybody who's been watching the show and following along with us understands that. That this is it's been a little bit more of a difficult struggle for us to continue to do this, but we're going to continue to do it, and things will, that the roller coaster, it'll come back. We'll come back around to a time when we have our studio set back up again, and we're able to, our schedules are a little more aligned. My new job is definitely my new job is throwing a big wrench into the works. Like I mean, I can put my hand up. I'm the one right now who is the difficult one with the schedule. It went from me being wide open and being able to do pretty much any time that I wanted to now it's like, okay, all my weeknights are occupied. So, and then of course, like I'm off Friday night, Saturday night, and you and Anthony, especially you, like you work at a bar, so like those are your big nights. So, but it's all right. Well,
Yeah, definitely.
like eventually, I also, I know that like part of the position that I'm in, like I'm working nights now, but the goal is obviously to ultimately, maybe after 3 or 6 months or a year or whatever, change to the day shift. So I won't be working nights. I won't be working nights forever. I don't know how long it'll be before I get a day shift, but eventually I'll be working days, and I'll get out at I'll be getting out at 5 instead of, I'll be working 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. or something like that, or 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
And then after 5 every day I get out, and that, that's the best schedule. So we'll get there though. Yeah. We'll get there. Like tomorrow, for example, I arrive at Asbury Park Distillery for 9 a.m. We're booked there. We're booked there till 1 p.m. And then essentially after we're done there, I go to work for 5. So my day tomorrow is going to be a long day. Like I'm going to be.
Yeah, you're packed.
Yeah. So I have like a full day of filming, 9 to 1, which I mean, what's that, 5 hours or whatever, 4 hours. And then
But
I got
still,
a full day of work.
Breakdown.
Yeah, it's a pain in the neck. And then I'm gonna, we left Wednesday open as a potential second day to follow up. So there's a probability that I will basically be doing a similar thing on Wednesday, where I get there at 9 a.m. and I'm filming there till 11 o'clock or noon, and then I got to go to work later that day. But it is what it is.
Now,
got to do it.
Something like that, having that option and opening up your Wednesday, in your mind, do you still try to crack it out in one day, or do you relieve some pressure off yourself knowing that you can come back in whether you have to do any ADR or just talking head stuff or anything the next day?
So I'll start with the last thing you said. ADR would be done in a studio. So ADR I would do, and we don't really do ADR. For people who don't know, it's when you add your voices in later over you film a video, and then later on you go and you add the audio over top of the video. That's what ADR. I don't know what the words are, what the letters stand for, but it's like when you're adding the sound, the vocals, the speech in later. We don't do that really ever, but what we do, we started to do it started with episode 5, and then we realized that we could use this more is to do like a narration, like a voiceover. So it's not really ADR, but it's a voiceover, and that would be done afterwards too. So I would edit the video first, and then I'd have Albert come over, or I'd go to his place and we'd set up all the audio stuff, and then I'd have him speak over the video that's already been edited. So getting back to the original question, as long when we get there tomorrow, I'm going to confirm with them, hey, are we cool for Wednesday as well? Am I cool to come back in here Wednesday? Because what I would like, the ideal situation is film tomorrow everything that has Albert in it, which is the tour, the tasting, the cocktail build, everything that he's actually in. And then what I would do is say to them, listen, I would like to come back for 2 hours on Wednesday just by myself. We don't need, just so that I can get all the B-roll, just so that I can go around and get all the details, like the close-up shot and the, you know, all the B-roll, so that when Albert is talking to the person, I can then cut to these side shots of whatever it is they're talking about, right? All the detail stuff. So in a perfect world, I can get that all done in one day. Basically, I would do a full tour with Albert and the distiller or whatever, and then basically say, okay, guys, give me a half hour, and then I would do the tour again by myself, just filming the close-up stuff, you know. But instead of that, what I might do, as long as they say, yeah, you can come back Wednesday, we would just do the Albert stuff tomorrow, and plan to not do any of the extra detail stuff, so that we can spend as much time as possible with all the conversation, with all the back and forth, with all the, you know, with all the Albert stuff. And then Wednesday I could go back, and he doesn't even need to be there. It could just be me, and I go through and get all the close-ups, get all the detail stuff, get all that other stuff. So my plan is to do that, is to do all the Albert stuff on Monday, and then go back by myself on Wednesday, so that, like you said, we can give ourselves as much time as we need with Albert there, because I'm not trying to fit in getting all the detail, getting all the stuff. So as long as they're cool with me going back on Wednesday, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. We'll do all the Albert stuff on Monday, and then I'll go back and get all the detail stuff. It'll only take me an hour or two to walk through the whole place by myself, most likely anyway. So, that's my current plan. But again, I just have to confirm, because we did talk or I didn't speak to these people. Albert went through somebody that he knows. So he kind of like preliminarily asked them, could we do a second day, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. So when I get there tomorrow, I'm just going to be like, hey, listen, is it cool if I come back Wednesday to do XYZ? If they say yeah, then like I said, we'll do all the Albert stuff on Monday, and I'll just go back on Wednesday. But if they say no, then I got to fit it all in one day. And that would it would be a challenge. I know I can do it, but it's not the ideal circumstance. Because
it's always better to
at that point
your load a little bit.
Yeah, at that point I would, you know, there would absolutely be a component, an element of feeling rushed. And,
for sure. Because then at that point, like, I don't know, like, I feel like if you're under that pressure, like, you have less time to, okay, can we do one more take of that? Can we do just, you know, like, I feel like the fine details and the fine tuning.
That's where, because you start to feel rushed. You start to feel like you're constantly looking at the clock, you know, and then, you know, like you said, your attention is completely divided. You're not probably going to get the best possible content in that moment. And then beyond that, it's just going to be, you know, glumped up for the rest of the day. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm hoping that they're cool with me coming back on Wednesday, just because it'll let us have that little breath of relaxation where we're not feeling like rushed. But we'll see.
Yeah, and once they realize you're not going to be in the way, because it's just going to be you with the handheld, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. It's a really good point, because I think that a lot of times when it's like, hey, we're going to film there, we're going to, you know, da-da-da, I think people in their mind's eye have a much larger gear scenario in their mind. You know what I mean? Like they think
you're setting
walking
up
in with like some
elaborate thing,
right? And meanwhile, everything I have is just handheld. It's this big, and I'm just like standing. You know?
And you'll be wearing a backpack.
Yeah, pretty much. Although, yeah, ideally I won't have to wear the backpack, but I might. We'll see.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I'm so happy for you guys, and that's a cool little spot. That spot in Asbury, it's really cool.
Have you ever been there? I've driven past it, but I never went inside.
Same. I've driven past it, but I've heard good things about it. I've heard good things, like locally.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, local to the area.
Right. The funny thing is, or one of the funny pieces of it is, I reached out to the Asbury Park Distillery in 2020. Like when we were filming in 2019. We filmed all of 2019 and then right into the beginning of 2020. And then obviously COVID hit like early 20, like what was it, March or whatever.
March, yeah.
So I have so in 2020, I reached out to the Asbury Park Distillery. We had just finished, Whistle Pig and Angel's Envy and a couple of the other ones. So I reached out to Asbury and I was like, hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. We've already hit Whistle Pig. We've already hit Angel's Envy. We would be interested. We really would love to feature Asbury Park Distillery.
Yeah.
I never heard back from them. Right? They just now I don't know if, because again, the thing I have to remind myself all the time is that the people who we're dealing with, who are sort of like in charge, who are doing, they probably aren't running the social media, So it's like there's probably some intern somewhere whose job it is to post on social. It's not the boss. It's not, most of the time I'm assuming. So I kind of have to remind myself, like, the person who checks the DMs is not the person who's booking us, right? So I sent the message to them at the beginning of 2020, like, hey, this is who we are. This is what we're doing. We'd love to feature you. And I never got a response. So it's not like, I don't even think it ever said seen. So like they might not have even opened it. You know how when you get a DM on Instagram, you probably get this where it's in the requests because they don't follow you or you don't follow them. So it goes into the requests folder and sometimes you don't even see that. So I'll bet you if we're still in there, we're in the folder that they never looked at. We're in that requests folder somewhere, unless they just deleted the message right away. But
True.
It's funny that
then you
now,
also got, dude, like, the world did shut down.
Well, that's
so
true.
Like that's another big, that's another huge
big reason,
roadblock.
Right? Big reason why they may not have done it. So, but I just think it's like it's nice that we've come full circle, right? And now we're right back where we kind of were in 2020, and we're able to feature Asbury Park. So it's just very just funny to me how I reached out to them all that time ago and we never heard back from them, but now boom, we got it. So it's like it's an accomplishment. You know what I mean? Like I personally consider it to be like a bit of an accomplishment.
That's awesome. Crap. What did I say? I wanted to put in my head when you said, when we first started this conversation, I said, I got to put a pin in that because there was something I wanted to reference. It wasn't
I don't know.
It wasn't 2020. Oh, so in March, I had just come off the Impractical Jokers cruise.
Are we talking about in 2020?
2020.
Okay.
And literally that week is when everything we just made it.
Wow.
Because like after that, people were getting stranded on cruise ships. They were just leaving them in the water or leaving them at the docks and not letting them leave the cruises.
Really?
They were quarantining people like that. Yeah, dude.
Imagine. I guess there's got to be worse places to get quarantined. There's got to be worse places to get quarantined than a cruise ship. You got everything you need right on that ship.
This is true. But like for me, I enjoy cruising. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
It's one of it's
a love-hate thing. Either love it or hate it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of those vacations for me where like you have a set price, you have your room, all your food, like you just said, everything you need is there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like essentially an all-inclusive vacation.
Yeah.
And I can only take that for like 5 days, dude. After day 5, I want off this boat. I want to be on land.
Yeah, it would be miserable for me. I get seasick, so it would be like torture for me.
Oh, I lived on Dramamine.
Do you ever get the thing, the the transderm scope patch?
No, I never tried that. I always just ate the pills. Does that work? I mean, obviously it works.
It's better than the pill. Like the pills don't work for me. The Dramamine doesn't work for me, but you get the patch, you stick it behind your ear. That definitely works. Like like the queasiness would like max out at like a 1 or a 2 out of 10.
Okay.
Like
if
you're in a really rough situation, like the sea is really rough, you'll get like a 1 or a 2 level, like, I feel this, right? But it's not sick. Yeah. You're not sick. You're not ill. You can still go about the rest of your day. But the funny thing for me, like, I don't know what it was, maybe 5 to 7 years ago, my family went on a cruise in the Mediterranean. and
Okay.
I got the patches again, and there was, I don't know what, we were on the cruise for say 10 days, and I had like 7 patches. So the first day I put the patch, put the patch on. Well, you're supposed to wear them. You're supposed to be able to wear them for 2 days. You change it every 2 days. So if you're on a 10-day cruise, 7 should definitely last you.
Perfect.
Unfortunately, they would very often they would either wash off in the shower, or my nephew, who was like 2 or 3 years old at that time, it was very little. I would be carrying him. I would carry him around, and I'd be holding him, and then I'd look at him, and he's holding my patch in his hand. Like, he peels it off my ear, and he's just holding. He's like, "What's this?" And I'm like, Jesus. So I had to put a new one on. So I was using them basically like every day instead of every other day. So by like the 3rd day, I had so much of that stuff in my system, I couldn't see straight. Like, everything got crazy blurry. Yeah, I couldn't read the menu. I couldn't read like the dinner menu. I couldn't read things. It was just like, I could still see stuff, but everything was in like just so blurry that I couldn't like read anything. So like for the rest of the week, I couldn't read the menu. My family had to help me read the menu at dinner to see like what I wanted to order. You know, it was crazy. And then the same thing happened. The most recent cruise we went on, where I had to. He was older, so he wasn't picking them off, but I would wash it off every now and again. So by like the 3rd day, I was like blind. My eyes was like, I had to wear, like, I have glasses that you see. I'll wear them for reading.
Yep.
I had to wear those shits. I had to wear those shits all the time. It was crazy. But at least I got to go on the cruise.
Yeah. And like I said, and you said it, it's a love-hate thing. You either love it or hate it. I love cruising. I don't do it often. I think that's why I like it so much, because it's not like I have to do it every year. I have to do it, you know. Like,
right. It's a luxury. It's something you get to do, not something you have to do.
Exactly. Yeah. That's another thing. Like I like going out to Vegas, not necessarily because I like to gamble. It just, I love that scene. There's something about it. Like, even going to like old Vegas, Fremont Street and stuff, like where that big walk path is. I think that is so cool. If I could live out there, I would.
That's the place where the people go ziplining, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Vegas once.
I went there for the first time. Oh, dude, it's so cool. Did you hate it or love it? Or were you indifferent? I
was indifferent, but the reason why I went out there, I got brought out there by a friend to film a video for him. So he flew me out. I stayed at his place, and I shot a video for him. Unfortunately, the video never ended up coming out because he lost the rights to the beat. He recorded a song on a beat, and then somehow it got fucked up where he couldn't use that beat anymore. So he had to basically re-record the song with a totally new beat. And so he did a different video, he reshot a whole different video for it. The video came out good as hell. My video, I really liked it, but it never, like I said, it never got released. But, so I was out there, but I wasn't there to like experience Vegas. You know what I mean? So like we did. We went to that street with all the people ziplining and stuff, just so that I could like walk around down there and see some of Vegas. But I don't gamble, so I didn't do any gambling. What I did do, because at this time, that was a bunch of years ago, we didn't have a sports book in New Jersey. Gambling we didn't have that yet here. So I put in I went to a sports book and I put in a futures bet on a team, like to win the Super Bowl. You know, I bet $50 for so-and-so to win the Super Bowl, and I got my little ticket. Obviously I didn't win the bet, but that was like the only gambling I did. And we went to a couple of restaurants, but nothing like touristy. It was just the like more local stuff, because my buddy lives there. So he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to take you to this tourist spot. I'm going to take you to this good spot that I know." So like I really didn't. And then we did go out into the desert a little bit. So that was kind of cool. Basically he just got in the car. We drove like 10 miles down the road into through the desert. He just pulls off the side of the road in a random spot, and he goes into his trunk and grabs a couple of guns. And he's like, "Hey, let's go shoot some guns." So we just walk into the desert. Like, we just parked on the side of the road, and we just walk out into the desert in between the dunes, and we're just shooting guns on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. And then I start looking down.
So fear and love.
Right,
Awesome.
it's crazy. And so I look down and I start to notice there's fucking shells everywhere. So like people must come here all the time just to fucking shoot guns, just on the side of the road. I thought we were just like, but no, it turns out this is where people come to shoot because there was shells fucking everywhere, dude, everywhere.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was cool, but then it was also like, I wonder how many people have been murdered out here. It was like
A
very
little unsettling.
Yeah. Like these are the
unsettling.
parts of the movie that you see where you're like, oh no, this doesn't happen in real life. And then I walk out there and it's just like, yep, this is definitely where I get executed. They're just gonna kick me down a ditch somewhere.
I was just gonna say you're like looking around to see if there's any ditches or like
Right.
fresh holes dug.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So we did that.
But yeah,
like-
Vegas, sweet man. I love Vegas. But speaking of bets, okay, so I got a question for you.
shoot.
One of the regulars that come to my job,
Mhm.
he's still in his 20s, young kid. He's a little fucking retard.
Oh,
We made a bet for football season.
okay.
Now, famously not known for having any knowledge about like sports like that.
Correct.
I think it's a $500 bet that
You think it's a
he said
$500
the
bet.
Giants. I think it was either 500 or 100. I don't remember.
That's
remember.
important. You're gonna want to know that information.
I see him enough, and I told him even the night that we made the bet. I said, "You're not going to remember this in the morning, so whatever."
Okay.
But for me, I'd like to know if I made a dumb move.
All right.
He said that the Giants. He bets whatever we said.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants are going to win more than 9 games this season, and I said absolutely not.
I agree with you. Now give me a second. I'm gonna give you some actual information here. Just give me a moment to pull it up. But okay, so just simple information that I do know off the top of my head. There are 17 games in the regular season. So in order to win 9, your record would have to be 9-8 or better.
Yeah.
Stand by. I'm signing in here. Your record would have to be 9-8 or better, which is over 500, which means that you've won more than half of your games. DC in the city, you've won more than half of your games. Why is this happening? All right, sorry.
No, don't be.
So you're over 500. You've won more than half of your games. I don't see the Giants winning more than half of their games this year. Stand by.
Yeah.
697.
Do they still not have a solid quarterback?
They don't. They have a guy, Russell Wilson, who, in his prime, he was a very good quarterback. They have a guy, the second.
Russell Wilson sounds super familiar.
Yeah,
the Seahawks.
He was on the Seahawks. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. He dates. His wife is Ciara. Right, Ciara. That's how you say it. Ciara.
Yeah, that R&B singer.
Sure.
She's hot.
Sure. I can't picture her in my mind, but I presume she's probably hot. And so
she's a tall drink of water.
Yeah, nice. That's what you like, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring up the actual wins. So what does Vegas think the Giants are gonna win? You know what I mean? Because that's where the line is, and then we'll be able to see, based off of what Vegas thinks, we'll get an idea of where you're at. Okay, Giants. So over, it looks like 7.5 wins is kind of where they have them.
Okay.
And under is the bet. So so basically what it has is it has positive odds that they'll be over 3.5, but then negative odds that they'll be over 5.5. So looks like probably 4.5 is the line where they're setting the Giants win total at, because if you bet under 3.5, that Vegas is saying that you're not going to win that bet, or you're less likely to win that bet. But if you bet over 5.5, I'm sorry. Yeah, bet over 5.5. That means you're probably not going to win that bet the way they have it set. So Vegas doesn't think that the Giants are going to win much more than 5 games. It looks like. So for you, so
'cause I was realistically going to say maybe 6. They might win 6 games this season.
there you go, and then that's right around where Vegas. Vegas says that they don't think they're going to win 6 games. They say, but it's like really close. So it's 5.5 looks like the line for them, the Vegas line for them that they think is reasonable. So your bet is a good bet.
Cool.
In my opinion, and in Las Vegas's opinion. You know what I mean? Like, my opinion doesn't mean anything. But as far as Vegas is concerned, Vegas doesn't think they're going to get much more over 5.5 wins. So 9 is bold. So he must have obviously been a Giants fan, and he was riding the high.
Oh, he's a diehard.
Riding the high of the draft, because the Giants had a good draft. They picked some good players. So he's riding the high of the draft. But the fact remains that even, they did draft a rookie quarterback, but he's probably not going to start much this year. And if he does, it won't be till the very end of the season. And so I would say 9.5, you're in good shape. But you do want to find out, the important part of this is whether it's 100 or 500.
How
that's
much?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know what else, though? If he says 500, don't take, this is not financial advice, but take that bet. Because you're gonna win $500 so he said 9 or 9.5.
So he said 9.
Okay, so he has to be over 9.
He said something about he has to be over 8.5.
Over 8.5. Okay, so still, I mean, Vegas doesn't think that's going to happen.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
So again, there's no sure things, but I would have taken that bet also for sure.
Now, mind my ignorance. During the draft, are the people getting drafted all like college kids just coming into the NFL, or is it like all players getting drafted, like even veteran players?
No, it's only rookies.
Oh,
when you're talking about the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NFL draft is just rookies, just guys either coming out of college or from overseas. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
then all the other stuff is just like,
well, those guys are already
trades.
on. Those guys are already on teams.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the guys. I mean, there's free agents. There's veteran players who are not on teams, but they're not in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
They're just able to sign with a team. Whoever they want to sign with, or whoever's offering them a contract. The guys who are in the NFL draft, the college kids, they, once the draft is over and they didn't get drafted, they are free agents now also, and they're free to sign with whatever team. So like there was a bunch of players who were hoping to get drafted, a bunch of college kids, they didn't get drafted, but a team still offered them a contract, like a very little bit of money, like minimum, just to come in and try to make the team, basically.
Yeah.
So
because once you get drafted, you're not guaranteed, right? You still have to like. There's still like a tryout period, right? A trial period at least.
Yes and no. It depends on where you get drafted. If you're a first-round pick, you're going to get as much possible leeway as possible. Like, you could suck for many years as a first-round pick and still keep getting chances. Like, when I say many, I mean like maybe 2 or 3 years, where you're just going to keep getting chances because they gave up so much to get you, right? The opportunity cost, like the first-round pick, you've given up the most you could possibly give up in order to get this guy. So you're going to give him as many chances as possible to work out. Whereas if you're a 7th round pick, which is the last round of the draft, that guy might not make the team in the first week of the season. Like he's definitely just trying it out. Like you might make it, you might not. But a 1st round pick, a 2nd round pick, even like a 3rd round pick, probably even like a 4th round pick, like you're basically guaranteed to make the team. And depending on if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, that's how much leeway you're going to get, to potentially get better. Like, especially like the best example is quarterbacks. Like if you're a quarterback and you get drafted in the 1st or 2nd round, you're going to get a lot of chances to fail. But if you're a quarterback and you're drafted in the 6th or 7th round, you might not even get a chance to fail. You might not even get a chance to fail.
Got
You know?
Mhm.
And if you do get that chance to fail, if you fail one time, you're fucking done, dude.
You're done.
Yeah, it's goodbye.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Right.
Super cutthroat out there.
Yeah. Yeah, very much. But the crazy thing is, like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's cutthroat, but there's not 32 dudes in the world. There's not 32 guys alive who can play quarterback in the NFL. There's just not. There's not even 32 dudes alive who are good, who are going to be, like, legitimately good NFL quarterbacks. So that means that there's a lot of guys who are not that good who are going to keep getting shots to be good.
speaking of 32 guys, 32 dudes in the world not being able to
Gangbang?
be quarterbacks. I don't know where this came from and why it's going so bananas. And that's a pun.
I know what you're
100 dudes versus gorilla. Like, what? Where did that come from? Is that
I can
just
tell you.
internet lore? Okay, sick.
I can
Cool.
tell you. I can explain it to you. So it started with a random viral tweet. So a dude tweeted. He called the people something that I can't say. But he's like, 100 dudes could
Yep.
100 dudes could beat one gorilla. They just have to be committed to the shit. That was the original tweet. 100 dudes can be a gorilla, but they just have to be committed to the shit. And so people were trying to debate whether 100 humans could be a gorilla based off of the fact that we all pretty much agree that the first couple of humans are going to just get turned into hamburger meat. Yeah, you're going to get completely annihilated, ripped in half, just shredded. You're basically going to be like a burger patty. So
yeah.
But, like, the key to it, in my opinion, is very simple. If the 100, and again, it can't just be like 100 hand-picked. You can't just pick like 100 MMA fighters. You know what I mean? It's supposed to just be 100 random people, right?
And yeah.
The way I see it is pretty straightforward. If this is not a confined space, if this is just at random, we're just out in an open field somewhere, 100 humans probably are not going to beat a gorilla because the first two humans, when they get ripped in half, the rest of the humans are going to be like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
A lot of them are going to run.
Right. Probably most of them. Like, you know, like if there's the first three people just get absolutely annihilated, they get their molecules ripped apart. 95 people are fucking out of there, right? But if you're in a confined space, because we talked about this at my job the other day, and the kid said something that was not part of the original tweet, but it makes all the difference. If 100 humans are locked in a cage or locked in a room, an auditorium, whatever, with a gorilla, the humans will win because they can't escape. If the humans are confined to the space, if you are not getting out of there, if you have two choices, your two choices are kill the gorilla or be killed by the gorilla, the humans will win. Because it's a matter
fight or flight,
it's a matter of life or death. Yes, the people would all have to be committed to this shit, but if you're locked in a space and you're committed to the shit whether you like it or not. Right? I got picked by random, but now I'm locked in this confined space with this gorilla. The humans will beat the gorilla for sure, because like it's a matter of, like you said, fight or flight. It's a matter of survival. At the end of the day, a lot of the humans are going to die, maybe half of them, but eventually the humans will overtake the gorilla to survive. Right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the human will to survive is stronger than anything else. Like the gorilla is not, it's obviously fighting to survive as well, but it doesn't have the, if I don't survive, I'm going to die fear, right? The gorilla doesn't understand death. So it's not going to be able to, it's not motivated in the same way. But if you got humans and they're not able to get out of the space, if it's a confined area and you're locked in, the humans win. There might be 20 guys left that are alive out of 100, but they will win. They will win. That's my opinion.
Yeah, gorillas are nasty. You're not wrong, dude. They'll rip your limbs off
Oh yeah,
straight away.
the
Just
first
like
guy's head is
off,
getting
like
completely ripped off in 2 seconds. 2 seconds, the first guy, the
yeah.
first 10 guys probably are going to get hamburger meat and just completely pounded into dust. But if you're in a spot where you can't escape and the people can't get away from this thing, because people would run away, like that's obvious. But if you're locked in a cage with this thing, the humans will win eventually. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Plus, I think and this, this is all just my dumb brain, but I think that the gorilla is going to take a lot of people out, but I also think it's going to gas out. Like,
Sure.
I don't think that its endurance is going to be that long lasting.
Agreed. Yeah, eventually the gorilla will get tired, and this is going to sound fucked up, and it is kind of fucked up, but there's a pretty good possibility that I'll be able to use the broken bones of some of the people who are already dead to stab and kill the gorilla. Like eventually I'll have tools to use, because there's going to be bones just sitting around, broken bones that I can use to stab the gorilla, jam it in their eye. You know what I mean? Like that gorilla is going down, but only under those like really terrible circumstances where there's no escape. If there's no escape, the gorilla eventually will die. A lot of people will have to die as well, but we're humans. I mean, humans will survive. Man. Humans will survive. That's just the way it is.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But yeah, like you truly do have to be committed to the shit, as the guy said, because you like, again, that you have to be able to watch someone get liquefied, just completely liquefied directly in front of you, and then be like, all right, I'm next. Here we go. You know?
Like, yeah, dude, the thought of it's creepy, man. It just sends chills down my spine. Like you're locked in a cage with what is a 900-pound gorilla, just pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed.
Yeah, it's them or you, though. You know what I mean? Like if it's an open space and people could just run away, yeah, the majority of people are just gonna run away. But if you know you can't run away, like then you have one choice. Your choice is survive.
Yep. Yeah. Fuck.
It's crazy. I just hope I'm never in that situation. I'll commentate. I'll be the commentator. I'll call the event.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Color commentation on the side, little
color. Most of the color will be red, to be fair.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. We're gonna be in the splash zone, dude, for sure.
It's true.
We're gonna have to wear like smocks.
Yeah, like a poncho.
Ponchos.
Like it's like being at the front row of a Gallagher show.
Yeah, that's amazing. Did you watch the Derby yesterday?
No, I'm not into that. Who won?
Nah, I mean, it was
a horse. A horse won, right?
A horse won, and it was actually a cool race because when I was a kid, my uncle used to take me to like OTB and stuff. He loved horses,
sure,
and he like knew how to read the spreads and stuff.
My grandma was that way.
So that's cool. That's really cool. But I know, like yesterday, the conditions of the track were kind of shit. They were running in mud.
I saw a clip, and it was all muddy and shitty.
But the horse that won, the number 18 horse, dude, it came out of nowhere. It was actually an exciting race. It was like it wasn't dead last, but it didn't pull out straight away. It came like around the last corner. It came out of the back and just dominated. It was really cool.
And that is
was cool. A lot of people. I mean, it was only a 7-1, which was exciting because most of the race, and I might have this wrong, but there was a 42-1 horse like up ahead for a good portion of the race, dude. Could you imagine?
People were going nuts, I'm sure.
Jesus.
Right?
Oh yeah. Insane. And then people went bananas the other night for the Knicks game. I mean, bananas.
Yes. Shout out Demon Metis. Metis, better luck next year, buddy. Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is right. Cade Cunningham is the truth. This dude is legit. He's a very great player. There's no question. He's got a bright future in the NBA. But the Knicks, Captain Clutch was clutch again. Jalen Brunson, the 3-pointer to win it.
That's a
the
sick shot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good series. But the Knicks, I mean, the Knicks get Boston now, and I would love to see them beat
How do
Boston,
you
but
feel about that?
they're not going to win. I mean, Boston's a defending champion for a reason. Like, they are a very good team from top to bottom. They're a better roster than the Knicks are. The Knicks have some serious flaws. Like, they're a good team, but they have some clear and obvious flaws that kind of prevents them from being like a truly elite team. Hopefully in the offseason they can add a true 3-point shooter and maybe like a real center, which is, easy to say but not so easy to find. But yeah, there's a couple of pieces to their offense that they lack. Like, they don't have a true 3-point shooter, like a guy who can just fucking fill it up from three. They don't have that. And they don't have like a true big man. The one guy they have, Mitchell Robinson, is very mid and he's always injured. So I mean, yeah, their team needs more than what they have right now. So I don't see them as a champion, like a true championship contender. But they're still they are one of the best teams in the East. But Boston is better and Cleveland is better. That's just and the Pacers might be better. Like, frankly, the Pacers are also very good. The Pacers beat the Knicks in the playoffs last year in the second round of the playoffs. So it should be a fun series. It'll be a good series, but my expectations are in check, very much in check, because
If the Knicks beat Boston in this series, is that go right to the big game?
This is
there's more rounds.
No, it's this. We're in the conference semifinals, so they would go to the conference finals and then to the championship. So if the Knicks were to somehow beat Boston, they would have to play the winner of the Pacers versus Cavaliers series. So the Knicks have an extremely difficult road to the finals. They have to beat Boston, and then they have to beat one of those two other teams who are very, very good.
Got it.
Yeah. So I mean, they're out where they are right now. They're pretty much out where they belong. They're one of the final four teams in the East, and that's good. You know what I mean? But they're
bragging rights.
Yeah. But at the same time, like I said, there's still some pretty obvious flaws to their lineup. There's a chance that the coach might need to be changed. Like, they might be in one of those situations where the coach has taken the team as far as he can take them, and they need now a fresh voice to sort of like bring them to the next level. There's a possibility that could be, that there are some people making that argument, and there's a guy, Michael Malone. He was the coach of the Denver Broncos when they won the championship like 2 years ago or whatever, and then they randomly fired him for some reason before the end of this season. So he's there's a very, very good championship coach that's available who, maybe the Knicks bring him in and he can get them over the hump. But again, like I said, they have clear roster needs. They don't have a true 3-point shooter, and 3-pointers are huge in the NBA right now. You need to have somebody who can fill it up from three. And then, they don't really have like a good big man, so they have a hard time matching up with a lot of other teams because they don't have somebody who can match up with another team's big man. So, yeah.
Now, is that a common thing for an ex-football coach to go cross over to basketball? I mean, is a coach, no matter what sport it is?
He's the Denver Nuggets coach. The Nuggets was a basketball team.
Oh, I thought you said the Broncos. My bad.
Did I say the Broncos? I might. If I did, I apologize. But the Denver Nuggets. I may have said the Broncos. I do have a football brain, so that's possible. So my bad. I'm sorry about that. No, he's that would be wild if a football coach went over to basketball. No, he was the coach of the NBA.
That's why I was like,
that is, yeah, that would be pretty funny. So yeah, I apologize if that's what I said. He was the coach of the Denver Nuggets, and they won the championship a couple years ago. Yeah, so
nice.
Is it common for a football coach?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
That is funny. Maybe I did say that. I don't know. That is funny though.
I mean, I am a blonde now.
Didn't you say you used to have blonde hair when you were a little kid? I did.
No.
My hair used to
be...
You
did? Really?
Yeah, my hair used to be blonder than yours is right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I had very blonde hair.
That's wild. Yeah, I
have to find a picture.
Doing it, like, around the summer seasons. It's fun. I like it better now that my hair is shorter. Last year I did it. My hair was a bit longer. It just sucked. It sucked.
I like having long hair, but yeah, it's a giant pain in the ass. It is just very
Yeah,
annoying.
big-
Like I had my hair was longish, but then I was just like, fuck this, cut it all off. I'm tired of this nonsense.
I'm noticing a lot of these like 20-something-year-old kids, the dudes, perms are a big thing. Kids are getting perms.
They've been doing that. That's actually not even new, but that's the Patrick
Really?
Mahomes. Got kids wanting the Patrick Mahomes hairdo. But no, the funny thing is Patrick Mahomes changed his hair. He changed his hair now,
Did he
so
really?
he doesn't have the same hair that all the kids have. But yeah, it was basically the Patrick Mahomes hair where it's like all curly all the way to the back, like sort of like mullet style, but sort of not.
Yeah.
But
Like a mullet mohawk crossover kind of deal.
right, but it was all curly. So yeah, that's the Mahomes, and a lot of kids have been doing the Mahomes for sure. But like I said, he changed his hair now, so I wonder what that's going to do to popular culture. We'll see.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun.
All right, let's wrap this bitch up.
Oh, man. Yeah, let's do it. Guys, thank you so much. Dave, thank you so much for taking the time out and hanging out.
My pleasure.
You can catch us Wednesday, like clockwork, right here on YouTube, youtube.com/the Two Clouded Mind Show. If you don't really want to watch us, you just want to listen to us, we are everywhere that podcasts live in the audio world. We're all over social media at Two Clouded Minds. If you want to stalk us individually, I'm at Kris_is_not_funny on Instagram.
DC in the City on all social media.
Boom. Guys, until next time, we love you. Stay clouded.